Internet is for everyone. It isn't limited to the learned few. The world of cybercrime isn't just confined to those gullible and unaware. It devours even the sharpest minds. Online predators are now targeting investors with cunning precision. Online fraudsters armed with clever tactics, cryptocurrency schemes, and bogus stocks promise riches but deliver only financial ruin. These scams, fueled by social engineering, leverage your data to concoct an illusion of trust. As mutual funds venture deeper into the digital age, risks are also multiplying. Ransomware, data theft, and fraudulent activities are threatening investment strategies and client security. The integration of artificial intelligence, cloud services, and automation has offered a playground for cyber crooks. While robotic processes advance, they have widened the doorway for digital miscreants. Join us on Mirror Now Against Cyber Scam as we unveil the intricate web of online deceit in the investing space and discuss the key steps to safeguard your financial future.
Hello and welcome to this special episode of Mirror Now Against Cyber Scam. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the cyber crimes that are carried out in the field of investment, whether it's Ponzi schemes or gold or mutual funds or even crypto. We talk about all of this on this episode as experts come and tell you how to save yourself from cyber criminals who might be looking at your pocket to steal that money from you. And of course, if you are a victim, what are the steps that you need to follow? Before I get into the discussion, let me first welcome on the show Sagar Chavan. He is the Vice President and the Chief Information Security Officer at Axis Asset Management Company. Sagar, thank you very much for speaking with us on Mirror Now on this very special episode. First of all, let me ask you, what are the emerging threats in your industry, in the mutual fund industry?
If you look at the threats, right, as mutual funds are increasingly relying on digital technologies, right, what we see is across the industries and mutual fund industry as well, ransomware is the number one threat. With ransomware, they would want to challenge your availability or even data theft. And the next one being an attack which is called a distributed denial of service, wherein because you have your digital footprint, they would want you to block you. With the banks, what happens is you generally have direct monetary benefits, but with mutual funds, it would be the data, or it would be having the service not operational. If we move on to the next threat, the fraud, which is an external or internal fraud, is another materialized cyber risk. For instance, the settlement and finance system can be exploited by unmonitored access. So that is another threat that we are looking.
Which leads me to my next question, Sagar. How do you then prevent such threats in the mutual fund industry when it comes to cyber crimes?
Correct. I would not go on with the technical answer, right? What I would look at doing, as a chief information security officer, is to build a sustainable and a robust cyber security program and a framework which would be based on the five tenets of your cyber security. The first one is identify, where you would identify your critical assets and the associated risk to those assets. Second would be to protect these assets, then implement appropriate safeguards to protect these assets. Third would be to detect, that is timely discovery of the cybersecurity events. Fourth is respond, ability to contain the cybersecurity incident within appropriate timeframes. And the fifth is recover, wherein you timely recover to normal operations, right? So once your program, a cybersecurity robust program based on these tenets, obviously you would have appropriate investments in the IT technologies, security technologies, right? They don't come cheap. So you would build in the defense in depth, wherein you want to delay an intruder at each layer from the perimeter to your internal layer. So the main aim is to delay them to, get going as soon as possible. And one thing that people forget is adequate hiring in the and professional experts in the cybersecurity domain. That is something that is required to, in additional, support all these five tenets.
Okay, so Sagar, then how do you protect brand image when we talk about the context of cyber crimes and cyber security? How do you proceed with that?
Correct. So yeah, one thing that we already discussed is, along with all these, the cybersecurity program itself, right? That is the primary thing that you do to protect, because eventually, if you get breached, your image is also going to be, get tarnished, right? And a strong brand image is our most valuable asset. It represent trust, reliability, and quality to our customers and partners. So apart from having the cybersecurity program, what you would also do is an external monitoring service, right? A professional service, which would look at your brands and your domains deep into the internet and public facing web, right? So they will keep on monitoring if somebody is spoofing your domain, creating multiple fake domains in your name, and trying to lure your customers. Apart from monitoring, you also need to have an ability to take down these identified brand infringement and reputational risk. So that would be a step in protecting your brand image.
So, what, Sagar, according to you, would you suggest to the end users of the industry? What are some of the best practices to keep safe?
Right. So it's not only the mutual fund industry, I would say, right? It is globally across wherever there are end users that are using a service, right? Maybe banking or mutual fund industry, right? So many of these mutual funds, including Access Mutual Fund, which has one of the highest rated app in the industries, we are coming up with apps and digital reach for our customers, right? So first thing that you should do is download any digital apps from trusted source like a Google Play Store or an App Store only. Never provide your personal details to anyone on the call, right? For example, if somebody calls you for a PIN, for OTP, please don't do that. uh, Visit the official site of the mutual fund or any other business for that purpose to get a genuine contact, right? You get a lot of contacts via search engines or via links. To please not rely on that. Do not open links and attachments from unknown sources. Nowadays, the latest being, you also get QR code scanners, right? So you do not scan those QR codes without from an unknown sources. Always keep an antivirus installed and updated on your systems. That is a prime requirement as well. And cross-check the information that you're sharing with anyone. It's similar to what I've said before, right? Do not share your OTP or PINs or any personal details with someone, that could lead to loss of your hard-earned money. So I think these are the steps that I would recommend end users. Your regular SEBI or RBI, from time to time, many banks, many mutual fund houses are doing these awareness with the end users. I think these should be taken very carefully by the end users.
In such a scenario, Sagar, then, how do you really manage with the increasing regulatory compliances in the mutual fund industry and in the investment industry, considering the kind of challenges that cyber criminals are posing?
The BFSI sector, I would speak of the BFS sector, right? It's generally a very well regulated, a tightly regulated industry, with the concerns of having the monetary losses, right? For mutual fund industry, it is SEBI who is our regulator, and SEBI in the recent times, or in the last 2 3 years, has been very active. One of the most active regulators. In fact, in the past year itself, they have come up with three circulars for the implementation of heightened cybersecurity controls and cloud security framework, which shows SEBI's commitment towards the seriousness in the cyber protection for the mutual fund businesses, right? Uh, uh, as a mutual fund, we are in the business of managing people's money. So we in turn, make sure that these circulars are implemented in the letter and spirit. That is what will bring, again, coming to a brand image, and protecting people's money is where we are very on the dot, right?
My last question to you, Sagar, the internet space, the cyber space is so vast, it's ever evolving. And the fact that, you also talked about the compliances that come in. How do you then, as an industry, work your way around and manage and leverage the emerging technologies securely?
Yeah, that's a very valid question, right? So, these technologies like, the AI and ML, which we have seen a recent boom, right? These continue to receive significant news coverage, right? But what we also understand, there's potential benefits and dangers that could, unleash because of using these technologies. So, it is estimated that these technologies will improve productivity of employee considerably, right? And companies want to leverage these immediately. But there are other, experts that warn on the negative consequences, right? Recently, we've seen incidents wherein a company's code has gone on, these AI technologies, right? So even when we discuss this with the mutual fund industry itself, right, it is something that your marketing teams, your HR teams are coming up with use cases, and wanting the security sign off on these technologies, right? So while we are aware of this risk, we also want to be a business enabler. We also understand the benefits of these technologies. So what we are doing is we are analyzing the ways in which we could enable these technologies on case to case basis. Uh, However, keeping the security in place, right? What in general the companies need to understand is, that many of these AI or ML technologies would train their algorithms using the data that you provide at the prompt, right? And that could be a reason of a data leakage going in. So uh, so you should check at the privacy arrangements with these technologies, wherein you could select a option wherein these inputs that you're providing to the AI technologies will not be recorded. So you could look at doing that with some of these technologies. Then there is you should look at how the AI tool will handle your data, right? They have these privacy agreements which your legal team should vet. And obviously the language is sometimes very confusing, so you get it vetted from your legal team on what they are doing with your data, to look at whether the privacy requirements are being satisfied.
All right, Sagar, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now and sharing your thoughts and helping us better understand this whole investment and mutual fund industry in the context of cybersecurity. Today on the show, we talk about how you can navigate your way through such cyber crimes, what are the remedies in place, and what are the steps you should be taking if you unfortunately become a victim of such a cyber crime. Joining me on the broadcast are Abhishek Mitra, he's director at the Indian Cybersecurity Solutions, and advocate Dr. Prashant Mali, he's a cyber and data protection lawyer. Thank you to both of you for joining us. Abhishek, I'd like to start with you. We're talking about the kind of crimes that are carried out in the field of investment, the kind of financial crimes that are prevalent nowadays. For our viewers, just simplify, what are these crimes, how are they carried out, and what is the most common kind of cybercrime that you see in investments?
Latest, if you talk about the last year data and this year as well, we have seen much of the crime are from the financial frauds, which are comprising of 75%, which we are discussing on. Now, how these are undergone is these cyber frauds are mainly onto the part of mutual funds investments and the loans which are granted to businesses or personal loans. These small and medium-sized financial organizations, as they procure them to be, they tend to draw them into this kind of frauds. There are many ways of doing it. We'll be discussing on in this episode itself. And there are also frauds related to like the Aadhaar cards, which are once we are seeing many of the frauds which are related to Aadhaar card because of the biometric links which are being there. We have not gone, like common people have not encrypted their biometric in the Aadhaar system. So what is happening is if there are any kind of document exchange while you're purchasing any kind of properties, these Aadhaar cards are going to the third party vendors or somewhere wherein these leakages are happening. So these are mainly comprising of two things.
Abhishek, also help us understand. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Abhishek.
No, yeah, please continue.
So, Abhishek, this also includes not just Aadhaar card, but the kind of investments we tend to make, whether, it's the Ponzi schemes, it's our mutual funds, even crypto for that matter is included in this, right?
Right. It is included in this. There are many app-based cryptocurrency investments which are going on, which leads to this kind of frauds because they tend to not to repay the basic amounts, and they tend to ask for more investments, which lead to a greater scam, which is in general increasing nowadays. And there are many laws which is there in the federal government US have already passed on. We are expecting more laws, stringent laws in India as well.
Okay, Dr. Prashant Mali, of course, there needs to be a lot of awareness regarding this because this is a common kind of investment we have been seeing earlier in mutual funds, in gold, etc. But one of the emerging trends has been that of cryptocurrency. And I want to talk about a little more on that because that's perhaps, number one, the latest, and number two, a lot more attractive to the younger generation as well. Is it very prevalent? How dangerous is it? How far has it spread? Tell us more about that.
So I can keep talking about cryptocurrency frauds because the amount of cases I'm handling in various different scenarios. Now, let me tell you about one is the direct crypto MLM scheme where a party comes in the market, makes his own currency, then tries to sell that currency via MLM scheme, multi-level marketing scheme. The coin is valued artificially and monies are promised, and then suddenly he or she runs away from the market. So one is that. Second is cryptocurrency. Now what I'm seeing right now, what fraud cases I'm getting is people are trading in cryptocurrency. Their young generation is trading in cryptocurrency and they get defrauded. How they get defrauded is, see, what happens is when they do trading in cryptocurrency, they end up in trading with a person who is offering them a little bit more money, little bit more in exchange. And who is this person? This is the scamster. What he has done, he has hacked somebody else's account, and from there he's transferring money to your account and taking actual cryptocurrency from you. So now what happens to you is you have sold him actual cryptocurrency. You are getting in exchange money from some third party's account, which is hacked account. So what happens to you is after some day police comes calling to you that you have got this 2 lakh rupees or 3 lakh rupees which is hacked from some third person's account, and this person who has taken your cryptocurrency has gone. He is not traceable because that's the beauty of cryptocurrency, that you don't get traced. So this is same happening with even exchanges nowadays. Like people who are in Dubai or who are in US, UK, they want to exchange their money in dollars or in dirhams, etc. They get good exchange rate from India. Indian rupees, they get little more money, so they fall for them. Now this more money guy is actually hacked somebody's bank account and just transferred the money to him. He has taken currency away. So this is another fraud which is happening. And in cryptocurrency, another type of fraud which is happening is based on cryptocurrency. There are schemes being made, and under these schemes, small time people invest because there are higher returns shown to them. Like crypto fund is being formed, crypto related different instruments are formed, and people are made to invest in this. So such kind of prevalent fraud, because there is lack of awareness about cryptocurrency related frauds, and lack of legality, whether it is legal, whether it is illegal, how would they get prosecuted. All these things are very important awareness part which people don't have right now.
And the fact that, like you mentioned very correctly, the legality of crypto is different in different countries, and therefore it makes the process of tracing back to the perpetrator all the more difficult. But Abhishek, when it comes to crypto, the major challenge is the fact that you don't have anything in your hand. You know, with hard cash, you have that. You have the notes, you have the coins, but in crypto, you don't have that option. And therefore, the traceability becomes a lot more challenging. Even though it is challenging in the usual normal kind of cybercrime, in crypto it becomes even more difficult.
Yes. See, if you can relate to the more ransomware attacks which have been happening last few years, those transactions are being done through cryptocurrency. The reason behind that is definitely the non-traceable thing. Now, the USP of the cryptocurrency in that sense, it is a non-traceable. So it becomes more risky once you are trading in crypto, and then you are not aware of with the legalities, and also the concerned person who is dealing, or whom you are giving that money to, so which is converted into crypto. So it is very difficult to trace, and definitely the origin of the investments, the countries which are there, what are the laws of the land are different. And as Male sir has already been explaining that in a detailed manner, this is what it stands right now, which is very much risky when it comes to crypto. Other way around, if you're thinking of other financial frauds which are happening in India, there are 80 to 90% chances that RBI guidelines are being there. If you follow those guidelines and you complain it on the proper formal way, where you're calling or you're going to cybercrime.gov.in and registering your complaint, your chances are high that within 24 hours you're doing that golden hour, which is said to be 24 hours to be a golden hour, where you give that complaint and you expect back of that amount which has been fraud been happened. So once you get the complaint, and once you go there in the bank and close all those accounts, and also protect the transactions wise, like if you're having UPI, if you're having credit cards, if you're having debit cards, you block those things, the chances are that you are not getting into more frauds, and you get back the amount which is being done.
Okay. Prashant Mali, then in that case, in the case where we do become a victim of such a cyber crime through investment or a financial fraud, what's the first thing we should do when we talk about taking the legal recourse?
See, there are two steps. If you know the fraud has just happened, like if the time window is around 24 hours, and the second step is, if it is an investment fraud, you come to know a little later. So in both cases, the remedies differ. So if you've fallen to a fraud or an investment scam within 24 hours, then you have two things which you can do immediately. There is one Ministry of Home Affairs number called 1930. I repeat, it is 1930. You immediately call up this 1930 number and give your details. So they block your account, they block the target account where the money is transferred, and if there is money there in the target account, your chances of getting the money back increases highly. If you again take action very fast, you have to go to the court, file a return of property order and get the money back. If you delay there, then now the cyber criminals have gone a little faster. They also have hired lawyers, and they go to some other courts of others jurisdiction, like if it is in Mumbai, they go to Calcutta and they get a local court's order and they take the money away. So do it fast. Second is, you go to cybercrime.gov.in. It's a website. You can file up a complaint there. Let me tell you, cybercrime.gov.in is only filing of complaint and forwarding mechanism. It is not an FIR mechanism. So you have to pursue with the police station and get the FIR filed. When you do this, if after investigation, chances of getting money is better. But if you feel that if the bank or the investment company or the trader or the payment person in between is at they are not provide you the service properly, or they have done some kind of fraud, you can approach the consumer court even, because now consumer courts also have jurisdiction and they have given good decisions based on this. If you find out and out fraud or out and out issue with the banks, then you can also go to RBI Ombudsman. RBI Ombudsman is a complete online mechanism. Type RBI Ombudsman on Google, you'll get the website. You can file your case by your own about such kind of frauds. But acting very fast, going to the bank, filing dispute form within 48 hours is very, very important.
Yeah, so measures are there, a couple of steps that we need to follow, but as you said, the most important step remains the fact that we report the cybercrime in the golden hour, which is usually 24 hours. In some cases, it is the first 48 hours, but usually in most cases, it is the first 24 hours that you realize that you have been a victim of a cybercrime. We'll leave it there. Thank you to both of you, Abhishek Mitra and Dr. Prashant Mali, for joining us on the broadcast and helping us understand a little better how we should navigate our way through to this dangerous world of cyber crimes. Thank you very much.